Well, it's week 4, day 2 of LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by FBI. We were just talking about
What?
how I am terrified. I'm always going to call an Australian person or a New Zealand person from Australia, and we reconfirmed you are from Australia. Yes.
That is correct. I
Okay.
am indeed from Australia.
Yes. I was just telling FBI that I'm always nervous because I feel like a New Zealander might get that a lot. Anyway, so let's talk about 100T. Things. Well, first off, we're getting close to the halfway point of the split. How do you feel about how 100T is performing lately?
I would say I'm pretty happy with how we've been performing. Obviously, on stage, there's still been a lot of shaky moments and games for us. It's not as clean as we want it to be, and yeah, we're working hard on like ironing out those mistakes. But I think we're pretty strong right now.
There was a debate that happened, I think, on the broadcast, where a lot of people can kind of like, oh, who's the best team in the league right now? Is it TSM or 100 Thieves? First off, do you think that that's like a fair assessment? Do you think it really is just one of you two, or I don't know?
I wouldn't really say it's that fair. In my opinion, the strongest teams would probably be us and TL. Like from my perspective, because I feel like their bot lane is really good. Probably the two best bots are us and TL. So I would probably have like a bias toward them, and I don't really think TSM is that strong, but they're also our top team.
Okay. Okay, setting. Can you? How possible is it for you right now to set aside your bias? Like, if you just think about the two teams collectively, I'm curious if you think that because okay, here's what people say about TSM, right? They say, oh yeah, there's not any one player that's like hard carrying or super standing out, or nobody's like smashing lanes, but the way they all work together is what brings them to be strong. So I don't know if you feel that way, or maybe you still think that they're not up there.
I do think they are pretty good, but if you actually look at the games they've played on stage, they do have pretty bad early games, and I don't really think just being really behind early and then finding a way to come back is the right way to play the game. So that's like a really big weakness of theirs, I would say. They aren't really good at laning and early game, but yeah, their teamwork is pretty cohesive and they're still a good team.
There's a an interesting situation here where you seem to think like TL are your not rivals, but your competition right now for best team in the league, and yet they're a disaster, right? Like they've got coaching staff issues. Alfari's out. Santorin now hopefully gets better, but is out. Is it strange in your mind to be competing for best team with a team that seems to theoretically they should be really struggling right now given all the instability in their roster?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it kind of sucks that we're performing well at the moment, and other teams, the other top teams, are having these internal struggles. Because in a way, it kind of feels like how do I put it? It's just like I would rather verse every team at like their top potential and strength rather than like a weakened roster.
Right.
But with that being said, I still think Team Liquid is a good team. Like Jenkins and Amel have been playing pretty well, so they're doing well for subs.
Amazing tweeted today something like, "Is Abadage the best player in the LCS right now?" I'm curious what your reaction is to that. Do you think that's a fair question?
Yeah, for sure. I think in terms of performance on stage, he's been the best mid laner by a long shot. I'd say. I think he's really consistent and he kind of 1v9s just like the game today. So yeah, it's definitely fair to
The
say that.
correct the correct answer to that would have been he's not even the best player on 100 Thieves, and try to take that crown for yourself. But I mean, do you think it seems as though this team is a complete 180 from where we saw you guys last year? Obviously, it's not like you guys were down at the bottom, but um, we were having a discussion on my Rift reaction show with Emily Rand on like
hmm
how much of 100 Thieves turnaround is Reapered versus how much of it is Awadage. So I'm kind of curious from your perspective, like where are those percentages? What is it?
in my opinion, I think it's pretty close. I think Reaper has done like a really good job in helping us improve as a team. Especially, I feel like for the top side, he's been really helpful. He's worked a lot with John and Closer and Someday, and I think they've seen really great improvements. Especially Someday, he's a lot more vocal now in game, and he's like a really smart player, so that's really nice. And Faber Dage, I mean, getting the best mid on your team is pretty good, and he is really good. So I would say like 50-50.
Okay. So I mean, a lot of people probably expected Perks to be the best mid laner here, but you would say Abadage surpassing Perks.
Yeah, I mean, in the 2 games we versed C9, I think Abedage has had his number by a lot. The first one was not pretty for Perks, and the game just today, Abedage 1v9 again, so
Yeah.
Abedage over Perks.
Okay. Well, there we go. All right. For the next couple of weeks, things are going to be heating up as we get closer and closer to playoffs. How confident are you that 100T can maintain its position, especially if, now that C9 has Sven back and perhaps they're able to power back up a little bit stronger than what we saw today, and I don't know, the other team TL starts to perhaps get their stuff figured out. Like, how confident are you that 100T can stay in the position that they're in?
I'm extremely confident. I think all 5 of us and the coaching staff are really confident, and it's really up to us on how much we want it and how much work we put in. So even though we're playing pretty well right now, I don't really think we can slack off because, like you said, it's still pretty early, and playoffs is where you really get to show if you're the better team. So we're just going to keep working and improving. We're still making a lot of mistakes in the games, and hopefully by playoffs we'll be a lot better.
Very good. Well, is there anything you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Yeah, I would just like to say to the fans, thank you for all the support, and we hope that we don't let you down like we did last split. And yeah, thank you.
Very good. Well, hey, thank you so much for the interview, FBI. Really great to talk to you. Looking forward to seeing what 100T can do throughout the rest of the split. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. It's summertime, and the living's easy. Especially, did you get that's a lyric from a song, and it's from a while ago, and I know that I'm old now. I wasn't when I started this career, but it's been a decade this year, and so I went from being a young anyway, just trust me, it's a lyric. What I was getting at is, like, the living's easy, and so is playing games on an amazing Alienware computer. You can find them by clicking the link in the video description below, which brings you to my dedicated Travis page. If you haven't been there, at least just click it so you can see what it looks like, because it's got my face on it, and maybe you're curious. And then maybe if you do want to get something like a new notebook or desktop or monitor or accessories, you can do so through that link as well. So thanks so much to Alienware for supporting this, and thank you for supporting my sponsors.